Rev it up and welcome to Cars Yeah, show number 1530.
When someone shows you who they are, believe them.
This is Cars Yeah, where you'll enjoy interviews with inspiring automotive enthusiasts. Mark Green is here to provide you with a fuel injection of automotive inspiration. So get in, sit down, buckle up, and get ready for a wild ride here on Cars Yeah.
Hello, inspiring automotive enthusiasts, and welcome to Cars Yeah. I'm very revved up today and very excited to share with you a very cool guest, Terry Wilson. He's calling in from New York today. We're going to have some fun. Terry Wilson, a.k.a. Coverman66, is a YouTuber whose passion and enthusiasm knows no bounds. At the young age of 10, he was driving his uncle's muscle cars on the back roads of South Carolina, and through high school and beyond, he worked on and built impressive muscle cars. And then in 1998, he test drove a new Camaro and fell in love with the power plant, the iconic LS1 engine. And that's when things really heated up. He started documenting his build using video. And after one day, he accidentally posted one of his videos on YouTube, making it public. Well, the rest is history, and we're going to learn about that. But first, we're going to get a word from our valued sponsors here that make Cars Yeah possible. And I'll be right back to introduce Terry. Hey, Cars Yeah, I'm a huge fan of Covercraft. I've protected my vehicles with their products for decades. Want to keep your vehicle's interior looking new? It's easy with Covercraft seat covers. They'll protect your seats from the daily abuse of pets, children, weekend adventures, and even those everyday spills. It's a fast, easy, and inexpensive way to keep your vehicle looking new. All Covercraft seat covers are easy on, easy off design that are machine washable. You can choose from many fabric options, colors, and accessories, all designed and carefully sewn for your special vehicles. Their seat gloves are semi-custom fit for cars and trucks, and their seat savers, a favorite of mine, are custom tailored to fit your seats like a glove. Work truck seat covers are tough, durable, denim weight fabric. It's like putting a pair of rugged jeans on your truck's seats. Want to stay warm? Covercraft also offers seat heaters. Covercraft is the right choice. Learn more today at covercraft.com and tell them Mark at Cars Yeah sent you. That's covercraft.com. Are you a Cars Yeah subscriber? If you're not, go to carsyeah.com, click on the free book button, and I'll send you my free filler up book. It's a very cool book I created of fuel filler fun, some very cool imagery, and great quotes from past guests here on Cars Yeah. Plus, you'll get my weekly email follow-up and my weekly blog. Just go to carsyeah.com, click on the free book button, and I'll send it to you right away. Thanks for subscribing. Hey, Terry, welcome to Cars Yeah, my friend. Are you buckled up and ready for a fun ride?
6-point harness, ready for whatever you got to throw at me, whether it's going to be drag stripping, autocrossing. Let's do it.
All right. This is going to be fun, no doubt. I'll try to keep it between the guardrails here. Now, before I jump into your life and start sharing all the cool things with my listeners about you, what's one thing that maybe most people don't know about you, Terry?
Well, a lot of people don't know that I'm a musician as well.
Really? What do you play?
Yes, I play drums and a little bit of piano. I'm learning bass, and yeah, that's what a lot of people probably don't know. Yeah.
Well, that's very cool. Well, I got my Fender Strat hanging on the wall right here. It's a special limited edition Hot Rod edition. Maybe I better pull it down. You can pull out the drums and we can do a little jam. How's that sound?
Jam session. Definitely. But I tell you what, I am thinking about going online and challenging people, being that there's, most people are staying home now. So learn your craft, get back to familiar with your craft. And what I want to do is I want to challenge people, forever how long they stay in the house, pick up a new craft. Like I always want to learn how to play guitar. So what I want to do is I'm thinking about it, actually every week, see the progress. You see what I'm saying? So I pick up a guitar and every week, this is week 2, week 3, week 4, to see how long it takes for me to actually play a song.
That is an awesome idea. And I don't pick up my guitar as much as I used to. I started playing as a kid. I learned from a classical teacher, learned how to read and write music. I taught guitar to little kids for years. I played in a band in high school. And then I kind of, life got in the way, as they say. You've inspired me today, Terry. I'm going to pull, as soon as we're done, I'm going to pull a guitar down here and see what I can remember and have a little bit of fun here because, this is a good time for us to learn a new craft. Great inspiration. Well, speaking of inspirations, I want you to share an inspiring quote, a success quote, or a mantra, some kind of saying that has meaning for you. So let's get the tires smoking here on Cars Yeah. Terry, grab the wheel.
I got the wheel. Let's see. An inspiring quote. I do love the quote that Maya Angelou says. She says, when someone shows you who they are, believe them. And I tell you, there's been many times, because I'm more of a forgiving person. I'm more to the point where it's almost too much forgiving. There are some people that enter your life, and I do believe God puts them in your life for a test. Depending on how you handle the situation, you either pass or you fail. Well, there is no failure. There is no failure. It's just a lesson learned. So that's an inspiring quote. When someone shows you who you are, believe them. And also one more, like my father says, my parents, they're the biggest influences. They usually tell me, unfortunately, you're judged by the company you keep. If you're hanging around a bunch of people that's not supposed to be doing what they're supposed to be doing, pretty much if you hang with 9 broke friends, guess who the 10th one is?
Yeah.
And that's not, and that's not from a monetary stand. I'm talking about like a life as far as,
emotional.
Like people are doing exactly anything. And, Tori de Blasi once told me, if, you need to hang with people that bring the best out of you, not the stress out of you.
Yeah. These are all wonderful quotes, and mothers are always right. Growing up, they're always saying, choose your friends wisely, hang out with people. My mom used to say to me, hang out with people that you hold on a very high esteem, that you think are way better than you, because they will pull you up to their level versus the other way around where you get pulled down to someone's level. And I think these comments you're making today are really important when it comes to social media, because we see all of us who follow social media, and you do, of course, with your YouTube page. We're going to talk about that in a minute, but there is some negativity out there, and it's just, they suck you into their negativity. And when you engage, you become negative too. And
you become negative too.
Yeah. I've just learned to either snooze, unfollow, block, or unfriend, because your life gets so much happier when you do that.
No. And the sad part is everyone has a voice, but some people's voices shouldn't be heard. You can have a video of a baby, not just for an idea, just an idea. You can have a video of a cat, and you give the cat its baby, and it's a beautiful video like that, because I love animals, and the animals, they walk off, you save a cat or something like that, but there'll be someone else find something wrong with it.
I know.
Someone will put a thumbs down. Now there's no reason why you should put a thumbs down from like if you save a cat, if you rescued a cat or a dog or some type of animal.
I know.
Why would someone give a thumbs down? But there's always someone that will put a thumb down because maybe they're miserable in their life. I don't know. When you come to social media, you got to understand. And I told a person one time before who asked me, "How do you handle negativity? Do you get it?" And I was like, "Oh God, yeah. You got to have a thick skin. You got to have a thick skin." The way I handle it is, my whole thing is everyone gets one. If you come at me, Terry, you don't know what you're talking about. Are you wrong? You're wrong. I'm like, okay, sit down. Tell me what did I do that you don't agree with?
Teach me something.
Because I don't know it all, and I never claim to say that I do. Yeah. So if they come at me the right way, I will listen. I would say 8 out of 10 times, like they see my side, I see their side, we agree to disagree, and we leave it at that. But there's always that 1 or 2 people where it's like, there's no getting to them. They don't even want to hear anything. And at that point, I'm like, okay, see you later. I don't even get into little confrontations with people.
It's not worth the time.
That's what they want. Those trolls, and you're going to find them.
Well, let's talk about this video you do. It's titled, if you go to YouTube, type in Coverman66, you'll see Terry. And at this point, I think you have close to 180 videos, nearly 15,000 subscribers. I mean, you've created quite a little dynamo here, all based on a little bit of an accidental tap make public video. How did this all come about? And it just started a freight train for you.
Yeah, it was a thing where, like you said earlier, life gets a hold of you. And that's what happened with a lot of my friends. But yet, we kept in touch. They moved away since high school, college, whatever. And these are car guys that I used that were my buds that I branched with in high school. And so I keep in touch with a lot of my friends from high school. And I was just always sending attachments, to 7 or 8 different email addresses. And the girl that I was dating, she said, "You need to go and make a YouTube address." And I'm like, okay, because I heard about it, but I never really paid too much attention to it. So I was making a YouTube, account, and, it was all well and good. And one day I was posting a video. Of my Chevelle. I had a white 71 Chevelle. It was the starting party. So I just wanted my buddies to see it because I would set the YouTube up as where they would have to. It was private, but they had the URL so they can log in. They could see it. And I gave them rights for them to see it. I was just so excited where I just clicked, save, but I didn't make it private. It was public. And next thing I know, I started getting all kinds of people. Now, this is early. This would probably be like maybe 2009, 2011. And this is when the LS craze wasn't as big as it was. It was getting there. And so I got so many emails and questions. How did you do this, that, and it just took off from there. And I was just like, these people have questions where hurdles that I had to overcome, and what better way to help them out than to answer them. So I started answering them out, and Coverman66 was born.
Yeah. I think it's really, really cool what you've done here. I watched some of your videos. You've got so many that are fun, and you've talked to several people I've had here as guests on Cars. Yeah. You've also talked to some pretty famous folks. I mean, Chip Foose and Mario Andretti, and I mean, all this fun. Did you ever dream that when you decided, you know what, I'm going to share this with the world, that it would become what it's become?
I never, ever fathomed that it would take me to SEMA and I'd run into like royalty. I call them automotive royalty, to the point where it has gone. And the funny thing is that people knew me, like when I went out to SEMA the first time, that's how I met Chip Foose. I met a ton of people. And I'm thankful for that. But when I met Chip Foose, I was in a big old 55 fire engine by the Belgian brothers. That's another story how I got in it. Now, I'm not sure if you're not familiar with SEMA, at the end of when the last day of SEMA, they have this thing called Ignited, where all the cars come out of the venue and they drive around and they park, and there's a huge party. I was on my way to my hotel room to start doing some editing. So next thing I know, this big guy, his name is Wesley, still talk to him to this day. He was like, "You want to buy this truck?" And I was like, "Well, I got to drive it to buy it, before I buy anything." And he was getting out the truck. Now, this was a huge Cummins diesel fire engine with airbag. It was beautiful. It was beautifully ugly. And there's a video of me in there. And so I got in the truck, like I was like, "No, you drive, I'll get in the truck." And that's where I met the Belgian brothers and Cobblestone Custom. And so we're driving around, and next thing I know, we're in there for like maybe 10, 15 minutes because it's like back-to-back traffic, but it's moving. It's nice. It's, everyone's looking at cars. So next thing I hear, Wesley, come ride with me. And I was like, what's he talking about? Next thing, Chip Foose jumps on the truck.
Oh, my God.
He had a white T10 that broke down. It didn't break down. The water pump blew.
Uh-huh.
He jumps on the truck. And I'm flipping. I'm like, holy crap, this is Chip Foose jumping on the truck. Yeah. And then, he asked, he's the nicest guy. Yeah. And so he asked, where you guys from? And they said, we're from Belgium. And so he looks at me, he says, you too? And I was like, yeah, I'm from Belgium now. I'm in the truck. Yeah. And so he goes, you look familiar to me. Where do I know you from? And I was like, well, I have a small YouTube channel. He goes, that's it. I've seen some of your videos. I love your work. I'm like, there you go. That's what I said. Cool? I was like,
yeah.
Excuse me while I kiss the sky. And so that's how that started. And then the following year, which was last year, I saw him again and we were talking a little bit and he was like, Coverman66, you're still the man.
Well, this is a really good testament for anybody listening out there, that anybody that has a passion and willing to take the time, because this takes work. I mean, what you do, it doesn't just happen. What I do, 5 shows a week, 1,530 podcasts, it does take some work. You've got to put some effort into it, and that effort is a result of something positive like what you've done. But it's a good testament that nowadays there is no excuse for anybody who wants to be out there and share their passion. There's so many ways to do it. Yeah, it's really cool. And what you've done. So let me ask you this. Is this your primary work now, or is there other things that you do during the day? Is this a side hustle, a full hustle, becoming a full hustle? And I mean that in the kindest terms, of course.
Well, I do work in the computer field. I am what's called, I do work in the computer field. Uh-huh. And I was supposed to actually be a weatherman. That's another thing people don't know.
A weatherman?
Yeah, I went to college.
Really?
Yeah, I went to college and I was supposed to be a weatherman. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I could see you doing that. You got so much energy and positivity, and you always think of the weather people in the news as the fun ones, right? Yeah. They're never right because the weather always changes.
No, totally. Yeah, exactly. But no, that's what I went to college for. I got my degree in communications, and I was supposed to be a weatherman or either a videotape editor. I spent a lot of time doing videotape, so this comes natural for me.
There you go. Yeah.
So it's funny because I purposely videotape my videos the way I do. I don't want to have like a 10-minute border, coming right back, with Coverman66. No, most of my videos are, hey, what's up? How you doing? Garage shop, such and such, blase, blase. We're going to go and we're going to work on this water pump. Let's go right now and go right into it.
Yeah.
Because most of my audience, they don't want to see, I don't feel they want to see like flashing borders and stuff like that. And,
it gets a little too commercial. I think for what you're doing is so raw, it's natural, and it's informative. I think is pretty darn cool. And, I tell people this. I just had this morning, some guy called me out of the blue and he said, hey, I want to learn how to podcast. How do I do that? And I said, well, here's how I did it. I just started watching YouTube videos on how to edit, how to record, what kind of equipment to buy. I started calling people, those that were kind enough to return my calls, shared with me how they learned what they were doing. I learned how to build my whole website by watching YouTube videos. I mean, literally. Yeah, just WordPress and okay, this is how you make the bar red. I have a new love and respect for coders because, boy, that's a whole bizarre
those guys. Those guys are something else.
Yeah, but it's a testament in I'll tell you, listeners, Terry's a testament to, get out there and do it. And right now we're going through this really bizarro world issue with the virus and everything. Many people have found extra time on their hands. And what you just said at the beginning of our talk, learn a new craft, try something new. Don't be afraid to put it out there. And there'll be the folks that'll make fun of you and say negative things. Just don't worry about them. Just produce. Just produce. You can do blogs, videos. All this is free. Really, it's free.
The moment you start worrying about what other people think, the negative people think, they won because they want you to fail. The best thing you can do for them is fail. Yeah. And the minute you start thinking, well, maybe this person is right, or I don't have what it takes, or whatever, such and such, they won.
No, and, ignore them. Ignore.
We don't need
them.
too many. No, we don't need to have them. Like I said, some voices don't need to be heard. And
they can go do their own thing, but. Well, you're a great testament to that, Terry. We're going to take a short break and thank our sponsors here for just a brief moment, and then we're going to be back. My favorite collector car magazine is Keith Martin's Sports Car Market. I've been a subscriber for decades. Sports Car Market is the Wall Street Journal for the enthusiast and the collector. It's your monthly must-read whether you dream of owning a collector car, have 2 cars, or 200. Sports Car Market has been around for 31 years, and it's filled with valuable articles, intelligent write-ups, and the latest auction sales. Go to sportscarmarket.com and subscribe today. Plus, you'll get the exclusive SCM guide to restoration shops included for free. At checkout, use the code CARSYEAH and receive a 50% discount on your digital subscription. It's an exclusive offer from me here at Cars Yeah. I'm Mark Green, and I love Sports Car Market magazine. Are you looking for a way to get your products or services into the ears of thousands of automotive enthusiasts around the globe? I can help. This is Mark Green here at Cars Yeah, and I'd be honored to be an influencer and ambassador for your brand in a unique and personal way. 5 days a week, thousands of subscribers and listeners enjoy the Cars Yeah podcast and website. Contact me today and I'll show you how at mark@carsyeah.com or connect with me through the Cars Yeah website at carsyeah.com. If you're listening to Cars Yeah, you've probably spent some time working on your favorite ride. But how confident are you working on your finances? You may be able to rebuild a fuel injection system, but can you decipher the details of a mutual fund? If you're like me, investments, insurance, annuities, budgeting, and other financial concepts may seem a bit daunting, but what if I told you there's a book that describes these subjects and more in an easy-to-read and a very humorous way? My friend Chris Kimball, CFP, a longtime sponsor and past guest here on Cars Yeah, has written that book, and it's titled The Saga of Ike and Penny, a couple's humorous journey through the confusing world of finance. It's a fun look at things you need to know, everything from investing to effective ways to get rid of credit card debt, and it's probably the only book on finance with a VMAX on the front cover and a classic Mini Cooper on the back. The book's available at Amazon for just $10, and this book will dramatically improve the direction of your financial future. I gave copies to each of my children. All securities are through Money Concepts Capital Corp. Christopher Kimball Financial Services is not affiliated with Money Concepts Capital Corp. Get your copy, The Saga of Ike and Penny, today. All right, Terry, we are back. Now, I've got a bit of a challenge for you. I want you to share with us a huge challenge or even a big failure you faced along the way. But the real key to this is not so much what it was, although I want you to take us there, but tell us what it taught you, because you said it earlier. There are no failures. They're just experiments. They're trials. Sometimes we fall on our face. As long as we stand up where we fell, we're a little bit further ahead, right? If we fall forward. So walk us through one of those times and tell us how that experience helped you gain even more momentum as you move forward.
One of the biggest challenges was, I would say I had to go on my own, because I still remember a time where I used to have a garage that I used to sit with, that I used to pay with a bunch of my, might be 3 or 4 of my buddies. I still remember this day. It was like a nice Sunday or a weekend. It was a nice weekend. And we were all in there, like all 4 of us, including maybe 3 or 4 other guys, and we were just wrenching, having a good time. And I remember looking up and I said, fellas, there's too much talent in this one shop that we can't do something and maybe get a show. That's my dream. I'd love to be on, have my own TV show as far as wrenching and stuff like that. And I said to him, we could do this. Everyone agreed. Everyone said, yeah, that's cool. But come time for the work, okay, let's start filming some stuff. It's excuses. It's, I can't do it. I'll be there and don't show up. That was a life lesson for me. If you want something done, you got to do it yourself. Even with these muscle cars, I knew at an early age, when I started seeing these cars start going up in value, I was like, there's no way I could be able to drop $50,000, $60,000, $70,000 on a fair weather car unless I build it myself, because now you're not taking that hit all at once, and it's not nowhere near. I mean, like, you're taking a car and you're building up, and it's less painful if you do it piecemeal instead of like just dropping $70,000, $80,000 on a car.
Well,
when you're done with it, you might have,
Yeah.
And plus you learn. So I remember when I talked to Kevin Tess, and I thanked him. I thanked him, Tim Strange out in SEMA. I thanked all these guys. I was like, I want to thank you guys, because it wasn't for you and the Power Block, because Power Block was a show that I used to watch religiously. And all, the car shows back there in like, the mid 2000s, early, late 1900, like 95 on up.
Well, not quite that old, but
yeah, not that quite. And mid 90s. And these guys would be like, you can do this. Give encouragement. Stacey Davis, Lou Santiago, all those people. You can do this. Get in the garage. Try it. Nothing beats a failure but a tryer. So you start listening to that, and next thing I know, I went and got a welder and learned how to weld. And, the limits there were no limits.
Yeah. Well, I think here's the story or the golden nugget I got out of your story. And that is, you just have to start doing it. And if my dad taught me that excuses are lies that we tell ourselves. And if you say I can't, or it's too much today or whatever, again, it's just an excuse. It's just a lie you told ourselves because you decided, I'd rather go sit and watch TV than try to do a video or write a blog or whatever. So you just got to get out there and do it. And Terry, you're a testament to a guy that gets out there and does it. Now, I shared at the beginning of our talk a little bit of your history. I mean, you've been playing with cars since the days you were driving the back roads with your uncle and the muscle cars. But was there a pivotal moment in your life that you knew you were indeed going to be a car guy forever?
Well, I still got my first Hot Wheel.
Well, so do I. Yeah, me too.
I still got my first Hot Wheel, AFX Tyco. I remember those race sets, Sizzlers. I still got all those. The most pivotal, I guess, I remember my uncle, when he brought home this brand new 71 Buick Skylark GSX. Yeah, stage 1. And I saw this car, and the 455, and I lost my mind. It was the most beautiful car I've ever saw. He had it up until the point, this is the uncle that I used to go down south and visit. And I remember he had that car, up until the point he passed. It was supposed to actually come to me, but, that's another story, like family members,
Sure,
they know that car is worth something, but
things change.
It's not worth, yeah, exactly. So I could understand. When I saw that car, and man, I'm telling you, when I say this man had cars, because we, down south, we have like a family land. We have family land. This is about maybe like 40 acres. This man had so many cars. I mean, like every car that you could possibly think of. I mean, like, but those, you figure back like in the early 80s, mid 80s, they were worth nothing. I mean, you could pick up, you could pick up a 70 Chevelle 454, SS. You could pick that car up for like maybe $1,000, man.
Oh, I know.
I mean, like they were just. He had so, and
they were just used cars. Yeah. They were just leftovers. Yeah.
No one thought about saving these cars. No one thought, I mean, like they used to just take them to the junkyard for a water pump.
Yeah. They weren't worth much.
My uncle, he had the good sense to, you know what? I'll give you $500 for that car. I'll give you $1,000. I'll give you $2,000. And he had like a whole bunch of cars. And I would hang out down south with him, like in the summers, like I was off from school, and he would be like, go down and get us some lunch or something. And I'm like, I'm not riding my bike because the country mile is a country mile. That's a long mile.
Especially in a hot southern day.
Exactly. So he'd be like, well, take one of the cars, any car you want. And then that was it.
Gosh,
once he told me that when I was like 10 and 11, like.
He put the needle in your arm and that was it.
Oh,
you were hooked. Yeah. Oh my gosh.
It.
Wow.
And he showed me how to drift. He showed me all that stuff. He says, when you want the car to squat when you're taking off and all that. And I'm just like, this is awesome.
Yeah. You were very fortunate to have him in your life for sure.
Yes,
that's very, very cool. Well, let's have a little bit of fun. I want to get into your head a little bit here, Terry. If you woke up tomorrow and you were a car parked in the garage, not what you want to be, but how you perceive yourself manifest as a vehicle, what would Terry be and why?
A Chevelle.
Okay, I kind of figured that because you have an affinity for those, right?
Well, actually, I'm a Camaro guy. I'm a big Camaro guy.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm a big Camaro guy, but I love the Chevelles. I'm a car guy. I'm a car guy, but the Chevelles came later in my life, where the Camaros, I had a Camaro in high school. I have 2 of them now. I would say probably, and it's funny because you don't realize you like the car until you actually get one. And I got that 71 Chevelle, and I was like, oh, I love these cars. I always liked them. So I would say a Chevelle, and if you were to ask me the year, either 69, 67, or either 71.
Yeah.
I'm talking to the 71.
Those were cool. I'll tell you something fun if you like Camaros. When I turned 16, my neighbor had a Chevy dealership, and he loaned me a brand new Z28 Camaro to take my driver's test in. And
wow.
Yeah, I mean, very cool guy. And I remember I was like the first guy, I got this, told my mom, we got to get there early. Well, they don't open until 8. I want to be there at 7:00. So I was like the first, first guy in line. And you go in, you take your test, and then you had to do your driving test. And the guy comes out and he climbs in, he looks at me, and he's a big scary looking guy, of course. And I'm this little 16-year-old, and he goes, "This your car, kid?" And I said, "No, sir, my neighbor loaned it to me. And if I pass this test," he said, "I can keep it for a week and drive it to school every day." And he looks at me and he goes, "You better do a good job, kid."
Wow. What year was the Z28?
74.
Wow. Okay. So there was the metal bumper one. Okay. Gotcha.
Yeah. Brand new car. Yeah. And then, it was a couple weeks later, he said, it said to my parents, maybe we can find Mark a cool car. And he found one, and we went down. I didn't know what it was. And of course, my dreams of grandeur was, Z28, Corvette. I mean, Chevy dealership is where he worked. Well, it ended up being an old grandma's 1967 Chevy Nova, 4-door, column shift, little tiny engine. But you know what? It was my first car. So I was grateful.
That's nice.
Sold it to me for $300. And the car was like perfect. It belonged to an old grandma. Still had the plastic seat covers with the little bumps that they did back in the 60s. It wasn't quite that seat. I was pretty cool for a week there, but then I went.
And that's that's the car you want now. Most people are looking for that Nova. Well, was it a 4-door or 2-door?
Oh no, it was a 4-door little grandma car. It wasn't like the Nova 2 with the 2-door. No, it wasn't that cool with the bucket seats and the nice engine. But it was my ride. Well, I'll tell you what we're going to do. We're going to jump into what I call the last lap. I'm going to ask you kind of a lightning round of questions here and see how you do. So let's start. Would you share one of your personal habits you believe has contributed to your many successes in life?
Personal habit is I'm a good friend.
I kind of get that.
I'm a good friend, and I will help anyone that needs a hand. That could be, like I said, that I'm not sure you want to call that a habit, but anyone that needs a hand,
it's a great habit.
I'm gonna try my best to help them out.
Yeah, I get that from you.
Especially when it comes to cars. Yeah.
Nice. How about if I could wave a magic wand and arrange for you to have a drink or a meal with anyone in the automotive industry? Who would that be?
Wendell Scott.
Really? Why Wendell?
Yes. Wendell Scott was the first African-American auto racer. I guess he was in NASCAR. He did it all himself. Him and his son, because back then they didn't pretty much allow African-Americans on that track, or if they did, they treated them pretty bad. He did what he had to do. He took care of it. And with the car that he had, where everyone else had those new cars and everything, he had an old car out there that him and his son, pieced it together. And when he was able to finally get a decent car, I think he smacked it up. And so he would be the guy that I'd want to talk to. He would definitely be the guy that I'd want to have dinner with.
Yeah, that would be pretty cool. I recently had Willie T Ribs as a guest here.
Ooh, he's another one.
Yeah. He just did a great film with Adam Carolla, who's been a past guest here on Cars Yeah. It's titled Uppity. And of course, it's about an African-American race car driver who he was. First guy, a black driver to race at Indy 500, I believe.
Yep.
He raced NASCAR. I mean, a really, really fascinating story. For those listeners that missed that talk with Willie T Ribs, you can find a show on the Cars Yeah website. He is a character. He reminds me of you of a bit, Terry, because he's just so on all the time. It's like electrified, and that's how I perceive you to be, which is cool.
I appreciate that.
Absolutely. Well, how about, this is kind of an interesting question. What if you woke up tomorrow and you were a car? What would Terry be?
If I was a car, man, again, the Chevelle. I got to go with the Chevelle. Reason being is because, it's a big muscular car. I'm not a small guy, and it's a good looking car. No matter what you do to that car, it's good looking. You can put 4x4 up on it. It's a good looking car. It's a strong car. It's comfortable. And, it's classic. It's a classic car. So if I had to be any car, I think the car that fits my personality would be that Chevelle, because like I said, when you think of Camaro, you think of kid's car. Chevelle is more of a mid-guy's car, but that wants to have fun. And so there you go.
There you go. I think it's perfect. Perfect answer. How about the best automotive advice someone's ever given you?
Don't overlook the little things.
Yeah.
Because they don't overlook the little things. And make a checklist. No matter how simple, when you're building a car, make a checklist, because no matter how simple it is, even if putting antifreeze in the car, you make a checklist and you check that off, because
I know
it's those little things that you'll forget. You want to make sure you have everything, dot your T's and cross your I's, whatever it's called. And you want to make sure you get everything perfect.
Yeah. Torque the wheels. That stuff. Everything. Well, it's that old saying, God is in the details. And it's really important, obviously, when you're building an engine or doing anything on a car, because you don't want to go out and forget to torque your wheels. That would be a bad deal. I've seen that happen on the racetrack, too. Actually happened to me one time. So we won't share that story. How about a great resource that you think others would love to find?
Coverman66 YouTube, because there's 180 some odd videos out there, and something's for everyone. Bodywork, LS engines. But if you don't find it there, I like the SA design books.
Oh yeah,
the SA design. Yeah, I love those books. I love those books, because those are like books written from by the experts. You can find just about anything there.
Yeah,
the SA design, or the car, I forget what they call car. I think it's SA design. Just look up SA design, and the books will come right up.
Yeah. In fact, I was going to ask you for a favorite book, and those are great. We'll make sure we find those and put a link to those. But again, I want to encourage you folks, go to YouTube, go to Coverman66 hit that subscribe button, hit that bell, because then you'll be alerted when those shows come up and you can enjoy them. And I guarantee you that Terry's show at Coverman6 on YouTube, 66 on YouTube, will excite you and bring a smile to your face every single time. All right, Terry, we're up to the checkered flag, and this last question can be a bit of a doozy. I'm going to buy you a very cool collector car today. Something kind of fun, something to play with or drive, do whatever you want. But there are a couple rules to this game that might make it a challenge for you. One is you can't sell it to buy a bunch of other cars with. You got to keep it and drive it. But here's the kicker. It's the only one cool collector car you can have. So if you already have a collector car that you don't want to get rid of, I don't have to buy you anything. But if you'd like something, what would it be?
I would like another 69 Camaro.
Oh, another 69 Camaro.
I would like another 69 Camaro because I have a 69 Camaro with an LS in it and 6-speed, I built up, which you can see on my channel. The only problem is I can't make up my mind if I want to keep the standard front grille or if I want a hideaway headlight.
Yeah.
So,
okay.
Yeah. So it would have to be another 69 Camaro with the hideaway headlight. Those are cool features. I mean, hideaway headlights, really darn cool. It's hard because like every time I see my car, I look at it and I'm like, wow, as nice as this looks, I would like the hideaway headlight. But then, I just don't want to take that front grille out and, change everything around and everything.
Right.
But so to solve my problem,
you're going to let me buy you a car, aren't you?
I'm going to let you buy me another 69 Camaro,
Yeah. No. So what color would you like? If you could have your choice of any, we're playing Dreamland here. Any color, what would it be? Would it be a stock color or would you want something custom?
Yeah, I'd take a stock color. Maybe a custom color that you can repair easy because I drive my cars. I mean, like, I'm not one to, my car got a chip in the paint, So that's why I would never do a house of color paint because a house of color, man, you got to mix it up so perfect, each stage where if you just a little bit off, you're going to see it.
Yeah,
so
I understand.
It could be like, I would go through, of stock colors and pick one, of course, but for the most part, it would be a stock color, either something that is stock where I could just order up, hey, I need code, C48, and it's already mixed and everything. You just shoot it and be done with it.
Well, do you like bright colors? Do you like whites, red, blues, standard colors? I mean,
I'm more of a copperish. I like copper, gold.
Copper.
I like blue. Yeah, I like red. Yellow. It depends on the car. I had a 71 Cuda that was yellow, and that looked fabulous.
Yeah.
And oh man, I should never got rid of that car. That's one car that I should never got rid of. That's one car I never got rid of.
Yeah, we always have those stories. I've got plenty in my life as well. But all right, so 69 Camaro with hideaway headlights. I will start searching for you, my friend, and see what I can find. Terry, you've taken me on a fun, fast ride today, my friend. This has been really great. I really enjoyed getting to know you better. Yeah, this is great. I want to thank you for sharing your journey with the Cars Yeah listeners. Before I let you go, though, could you offer us one little parting piece of wisdom or guidance before you rip off down the highway in that 69 Camaro?
I would say shoot your best shot and follow your dreams, and don't let anyone stand in your way. Shoot for the stars, even if you don't make it. You took your best shot, and that's what it's about. And never stop.
And as soon as we're done today, I'm going to take my guitar down off the wall and see if I can remember a couple tunes here from my youth. Maybe I'm going to plug that Strat into an amp too and make a little noise.
That's what I'm saying.
Wake up the neighbors. Definitely. Why the heck not? Yeah.
Why not?
In fact,
they appreciate it.
In fact, you gave me a fun idea here because I've got a neighbor behind me whose dog tends to be a little too barky, and it always frustrates me a little bit. Like, why do you let your dog sit and bark? I think I'm going to put my amp out there, and when I hear him bark, I'm going to play him a song. See what happens.
Play him a song.
Yeah.
And then
there you go.
That'll be something you and the dog will have.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. And I got a Davida, baby. Okay.
Oh, man. We got a Davida.
Hey. That's it. I'm a little older than you, so my time.
I know exactly the name of that song. I forgot the name of the group, but I know exactly. We were talking about that.
Oh yeah. The good old times. Well, listeners, I'll remind you can find everything Terry shared today here on his Cars Yeah show notes page. Go to YouTube, type in Coverman66, subscribe, hit that bell. he's going to bring a smile to your face for sure. Terry, thanks for being so generous today with your time, your expertise, and for sharing your experiences. Yeah, this has been really fun. Until you and I talk again, my friend, I'll see you down the road.
You know it.
All right. Thank you so much. This has been great. Hey, Cars Yeah listeners, this is Mark Green. If you love the Cars Yeah podcast, I have something new for you. I've teamed up with Keith Martin, a collector car market expert and the editor of Sports Car Market magazine, to create the Buy, Sell, Hold podcast. Buy, Sell, Hold is the essence of collecting. Together, we take you on an educational ride into the collector car market, talking with industry experts, helping you navigate your collector car journey so you know when to buy, sell, hold. We talk with seasoned experts who buy, sell, and hold investment vehicles, and they'll share their insider secrets on how they make their buying decisions when it comes to making these important investments. You'll find the Buy, Sell, Hold podcast on the Cars Yeah website, on the Sports Car Market website, and if you're a podcast app subscriber to Cars Yeah, Buy, Sell, Hold will come right to your mobile device, just like the Cars Yeah podcast, automatically. Join Keith Martin and me on a great new venture on the Buy, Sell, Hold podcast today.
Thank you so much for joining us on today's ride here at Cars Yeah. Drive on over to carsyeah.com to find show notes and inspiring automotive fun. Download your free copy of Filler Up, a fun book filled with gorgeous photographs of fuel filler fun, including quotes from more inspiring automotive enthusiasts. Download your copy today, and we'll see you next time on Cars Yeah.